a slasher bash. Slasher bash. Slasher bash.
Let's do this, bitch.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to Slasher Bash, the podcast where we choose a horror movie franchise and critique it movie by movie. I am one of your hosts, Benjamin, with my co-host, Madison.
What's up?
What's up, everybody? This week we're doing the sequel to The Babysitter,
Killer
Queen. But before we get into that, there's some Scream news we want to talk about.
Yes.
Came out, I guess yesterday. Thank God,
Yes,
because
it came
today's
out
April
yesterday.
1st.
Yeah.
And I hate April 1st. April 1st is ruined for me now.
Because nothing's funny anymore because our country's been
Nothing's
ruined.
funny anymore. And it's just like, it just feels like we're going through the motions with all these like announcements and shit all the time where I'm like, I just want to get back to tomorrow. Like I want it to be tomorrow so I can read actual news.
Fair. Touche.
You know? Anyway. So yeah, Scream, they announced that they're developing Scream 8, which I'm not surprised since Scream 7 made so much goddamn money, even though it was pretty polarizing.
First
of a
in the
movie.
franchise to cross 200 million.
Yeah. Which is,
Why
I mean, I wonder,
it is
yeah.
interesting that it made so much money because one, it is a very polarizing film, and two, there's a massive controversy around the Melissa Barrera firing.
yeah.
So it is interesting. Like, it's almost like,
How many people know about that though?
I think a lot. Well, I don't know.
I
I
mean,
mean, when I'm in
I
our
don't
Instagram
know.
feed, there's so many people who are like, fuck Scream 7, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And like
I
people
get
get
it.
really hot about the Melissa Barrera topic. I mean, like my
I mean,
sister's
I'm-
boyfriend was like,
Yeah.
I'm not paying to see this movie on your birthday. So I had to buy his ticket, and all because he was hot about Melissa Barrera.
You had to buy his ticket on your birthday? Dude, suck it up.
Well, instead I made my sister babysit for free.
Look, I'm the same way. Like I think that whole situation's so fucked.
Yeah.
But I honestly believe that they'll be back at some point.
I
Like,
hope so.
I really do. Like, time will pass. It'll start to lose money. They'll be like, you know what we should do? We should bring back everybody. Jenna Ortega too.
Yeah.
But again, like, I don't know, like, how many casual fans out there that love Scream are really paying attention to like that kind of news. You know what I mean? They just see Scream 7, them Kimmel's back. I'm in
Yeah.
because I loved Scream. And I think that made so much money because like there's less movies that come out now.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder what like adjusted for inflation that is. Like, is it actually the highest grossing Scream movie?
Yeah. It's the highest grossing Scream movie, and it is
But like adjusting for inflation, meaning like
I'm pretty
Exactly.
pretty positive. I'm
I
pretty
don't know.
positive. But
Yeah.
because it's also the second largest, it's like the second most successful film, only following behind the Halloween reboot that Danny McBride did when Jamie Lee Curtis came back. What was that like? Like, I don't know. We went to that movie. What was that? 10 years ago?
2018. Yeah.
8 years ago? Something like that. Yeah. So that's the
Yeah,
only
see,
movie to
people-
like be financially more successful than Scream 7.
But anyway, yeah. So made a lot of money. Scream 7, despite all the controversy behind it. I mean, when you have the original creator back and Neve Campbell, it makes sense that it would make a lot of money.
I wonder, well, I mean, obviously Neve Campbell is like a massive, massive pull, but they did the smartest thing they could have ever possibly done by having Kevin Williamson involved.
I agree. But again, I don't know how many people even know that name. Like, I don't think your casual fan really knows Kevin Williamson's name. They might not know
Really?
Wes Craven. Yeah,
Over
I don't
Kevin
think so.
Williamson? No way. I totally disagree with that because like families nowadays, they don't, I mean,
I'm sure the advertisement set, and I didn't see a lot of the trailers, but I'm sure they said like from the original writer or whatever.
right.
But I don't.
But like Kevin Williamson has such a wide, like Dawson's Creek,
Yeah.
Vampire Diaries. Like he wrote every teen horror film of the 90s. I Know What You Did Last Summer, Halloween H2O,
Yeah.
The Faculty, Teaching Mrs. Tingle. Like he is
Yeah.
like, maybe, I don't
He
know.
wrote The Faculty. I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yep.
We got to do that one.
Oh yeah. I fucking love that
That'll
movie.
be a palate cleanser one, right? A one-off. Maybe you're right. I I would say if I mentioned that to like my aunt, she's not gonna know who that is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I said that to my sister, she wouldn't know who that was.
But I think
she
if we're
likes
talking
Scream.
about the modern audience, because Wes Craven passed away several years ago now, and Kevin Williamson is still making popular content, I think
Mhm.
he's going to be the more known name. Unless you are
Yeah.
strictly a horror fan, you're not going to know Wes Craven.
Maybe not young people,
Yeah.
but I think
New
like
audiences.
anyone that's like our age and older would know who Wes Craven
Yeah.
was.
Anybody who's ever seen Friday the 13th or Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
Don't cut,
And The Hills Have Eyes.
just cut all that. Don't let me sound like an idiot.
No, I will. I cut out a lot of yours. No, I'm kidding.
You're
I'm
such a
constantly
dick.
cutting you out.
I did.
No, I'm mostly cutting myself out.
There was one thing that I cut that you had cut out, and I can't even remember it. But I was listening to our new episode today, and now I don't even remember what it was. But I remember being like, "Oh, thank God, he really does know how to edit me."
Well, there's a lot of stuff that we go on tangents, and if there's ever a situation where I don't know for sure if what we're saying is true, sometimes I'll just cut it out just to be safe.
Fair.
And I don't even remember what it would be. It's never like, that's like something we should never say. But we talked about, I'll cut this out. And we're back.
All right. So Scream 8,
Yeah. So they announced
Not
it. Kevin Williamson.
officially- not
What- what-
officially
what do you-
greenlit. First of all, I think sometimes like people get confused on the
Where's
difference
the
between
deadline?
greenlit and in development.
For sure. I mean, this movie's getting made. Maybe not by
yes.
this team, but it is getting made.
It is 100% getting made, but it is not officially greenlit. There's not money behind it, putting it into production. But there are contracted writers, the Zuckerman sisters, Lila and Nora.
Yep.
Is it Lila or
Mhm.
Lily? I think it's either Lila or Lilia or Lily. All right, well, we'll just, the Zuckerman sisters. So the Zuckerman sisters are contracted to write Scream 8. This
Yes.
does not mean it's greenlit, but I mean, it's a blockbuster hit. It's gonna happen. We don't know if they're gonna officially write it, but they get the first stab at it.
So nice pun. Before we jump into like what you feel about this, I just want to mention a weird connection. There are rumors now that Radio Silence has expressed interest in rebooting Buffy, and these two sisters were the people that wrote the pilot episode, and they were going to be the showrunners for the now canceled reboot.
Did you read anything about that leaked script and how?
Yeah. I don't want to get into that right now.
Okay.
But that sort of makes me concerned about this movie. But
Me too.
So the connection
and if you
there
want
being Radio
opinions on
Silence
it,
directed.
Go to Critical Overlord on YouTube. Critical Overlord. Lots of opinions on Buffy and their writing.
I don't need to hear anyone else's opinion on Buffy, to be honest. So yeah, these two sisters directed that pilot that got canceled.
Directed it or wrote
Kevin
it?
Williams, they wrote it.
Yeah, it was
Chloe
directed by.
Zhao
Yeah.
directed it. And I read that script. Look, I don't know if it was a final script. Apparently, people are saying it wasn't a final script. As a movie fan, a TV fan, and a Buffy fan, I'm really happy that didn't get made. At least that episode. I did not think it was good. It felt very sort of like someone was hired to write a reboot that didn't really grow up with the show, or if they did, they didn't really watch it.
Yeah.
Close enough to understand really the DNA of it.
You should write a spec script
I have.
for the Buffy reboot.
Well, I have an outline, yeah.
Will you send it to me?
Yeah.
I would actually love that.
I don't know if you'll get it though, but I'll
I'll
send it
finish
to you.
watching Buffy just to understand your outline.
Okay.
Okay.
You got a long way to go. You got like 144 episodes.
Hey, I've stopped at the hyena episode, but I'll get there.
Yeah, so you got a long way to go. Anyway, what are you like? I'm bummed not because these they've worked on a lot of shows. They worked on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which all I hear is good things about. They worked on Fringe, which was great.
I
think they're good writers, but Kevin Williamson comes back for one movie and then bails.
And honestly,
that sucks.
I mean, he said he was committed to other projects that he was more interested in exploring. But I would have loved if he was like, okay, I don't have the time to commit to directing this film, but if he wrote another Scream movie,
Mm-hmm.
that would be amazing.
I agree. I think he's going to be involved. Like, I'm sure, like,
He's going to be
he'll
like
have
executive
input.
producer. Him and Never are executive producers now forever.
Yeah, I saw that. Are you concerned about this, Kevin Wayne? Like, I'm a little like, all of the excitement I had from this movie going into this movie is a little bit now extinguished because I feel like we're just getting back into like the endless sequels with just whoever
I actually read
making it.
just an opinion piece by nobody, like not like it was just an opinion piece, probably on Reddit. I don't even remember. This person was just like kind of poking fun at how Scream refuses to pass the baton and like is just now literally spitting out the same fucking bullshit over and over again to the point where that's why this ending was so fucking terrible, because they had nowhere left to go because they cornered themselves by not having new leads. And
which they had, honestly.
yes,
they had new leads.
But they shot themselves in the foot with that.
Totally.
I mean, like, I don't know. Like, I love that Nev is back. I fucking love that. But I wish it was Nev.
She could have still been back.
And Melissa and Jenna.
Yeah, they could have all been back, to be clear. Like, they already have done that.
I mean, if I got to do the next Scream movie, which I won't get to, but that's okay. Life dream, but you know, whatever.
You never know.
I would just start a new story and follow Kirby.
Yeah. I think for me, like, do you really want more Scream? I guess is the question.
Yes.
Like, you really do.
What other franchise can you think of that has successfully made 8 movies where
7
soon to be 8
yeah.
that are all loved, like in some way, like they're not, like nobody's like, that movie's the biggest piece of shit I've ever seen. There's no straight to videos. There's no.
I guess where I get stuck now is like, I don't know. I feel like I've seen it all now.
With Scream?
What else are they going to do? Like, what, to your point, like, what else is there to do? Because they're not going to do what you just said, which is like, just focus on Kirby. It's Kirby doing what?
Being a cop in New York.
That's not Scream.
No, that's the thing. That's the thing is, it's too late now to do what I would have done, but I never would have done the whole following Jill storyline. I've already said this, that I wouldn't have followed Jill.
Yeah.
I would have had Jill die. And the surprise would have been that Kirby was the final girl carrying on the franchise.
Right.
Here's the thing.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't mind more of the same, but what I don't want is always trying to top things. I'm like, give me the OG Scream again. Do it modern day, modernize it a little bit. Give me the same story. I don't care. I'd just be happy to watch it again. I love Scream. Ghostface is amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I struggle with it because, like, I don't have any problem just going and watching the other Screams over to get that fix.
Fair, but like, okay, like when Rob Zombie did Halloween, his remake of the first one, it's so similar. Like, so similar. There's not a lot of departures, but it's way scarier. It's way more intense. And I really, really, really like it. Despite he like made the same movie again.
Yeah. Yeah. I get what you're saying. I guess for me, it's just like, as someone who's like a creative person too, like if I was tasked with writing the next Scream, I'd be like, what am I going to do here? And I don't want to spend too much time. We got a whole movie to talk about, and we've already been talking about this for like almost 15 minutes. So
I would bring in a younger cast, and I would go back to the original killing of Billy and Stu killing Maureen.
But they did that already. I mean, not the Maureen thing, but they've already brought in 3 younger casts.
Right, but if you go back to the original and like you tie in like that there were other murders that happened around that time that were not connected as a serial killer, and the climax is the murder of Maureen Prescott, and you realize, like, you go in thinking you're seeing a Scream movie, and then you realize it's a prequel to all of the killings, and that Billy and Stu were killing other people besides Maureen. And
yeah. But then, I mean, we've talked about this before. Then don't you kind of like ruin the mythology of the
that's true,
of the franchise in that way? I guess we'll see. I'm sure they're thinking about it. The Zuckermans, right? Is what they're called?
Yeah, the Zuckerman sisters.
Like
I mean,
maybe they already have an idea
I
and they
guess
pitched
that's
it.
why the whole thing becomes, how do you make the kills more crazy and gruesome and intense? Because like, what else do you do if you're telling the same story? I guess that's
Yeah.
why you get hung up on the like, how do I make the kills crazier and better? But
I guess you're right. Like I think I'm just concerned. Like right now, my excitement for this Scream 8 is non-existent for a couple reasons. One being no Kevin Williamson, bummer. And two being like this, they're trying to make money off this as quickly as possible. It feels like, and I'm just worried that we're just gonna get, especially because like this is a polarizing one. Fans weren't happy. Like a lot of fans weren't happy with this one.
yeah,
Like I would say overly so, or overly undeserved maybe. But like everything that I was excited about for 7 has been now undone by this announcement. No offense to the Zuckermans, but
the only
you're
thing,
not gonna. I'm not excited now. Is my point.
because you think it's just a rush project without any
Without
creative.
the original DNA, which I think is what we needed to have for 5 and 6, which I think are fine movies overall, fun movies.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't, to me at least, they don't rank high in the.
I mean, I was just personally excited that I was like, fuck yeah.
I know, no, I'm not trying to make you feel bad about it.
Some female writers. But
Yeah, no,
Ben
that's great.
hates women,
I don't think
so.
Yeah,
Just kidding.
well, I love slasher movies. Isn't it obvious?
Love slashers, hate women.
Those go hand in hand. No, I think that's great too. But I guess I'm not upset with the writers being who the writers are. I'm upset with Kevin Williamson not being attached to this.
Because I mean, I get, because, Kevin Williamson was attached to the original 4. And then when Radio Silence took it over, it was a reboot. So it wasn't like, let's get back to the original DNA. 7 was that. So now we're not getting a reboot and we're sticking with the original. And
I guess we don't know.
I feel like
Nev Campbell could be done.
Tatum to college. Yeah, I think Tatum's taken over now.
Again, we're doing college again. That's what I'm saying. Like we've done this already.
Well, maybe she's a senior now. Scream, senior year.
I think we should have an episode where we think about
killer.
what our Scream movie would be and pitch them to each other.
Okay. I'll do some serious thinking about this. I will do a full episode with you, literally, where we both show up and we pitch each other what our Scream 8 storyline would be.
Like I liked my prediction for this one.
Yeah.
As an idea.
It would have been a better movie if they had done your prediction.
But I'll pitch something different, I guess.
Why?
I actually have
you
a
don't
movie
need to
that
pitch something different.
I have a movie that I could easily skin with Scream. Like I already have it and I could skin it with Scream.
Okay, Leatherface.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, we've been talking about this way too long. So talk about
we're 50 minutes into this recording and we haven't talked about the movie we're here to talk about.
Maybe we'll talk about this. I'm going to shorten the hell out of this conversation.
Okay. But really quick.
This can't be more than 10 minutes long.
Really quick while we're talking Scream.
Yes.
Scream 7 did come out on digital yesterday, so of course I immediately bought it and watched it. My baby was sleeping in my tiny house, so I had to have the captions on so that I could know what they were saying while I listened to it at like 6 volume level. Okay, so this is what I caught with captions.
Okay.
The very first shot when they are pulling up to the house,
yes.
I had always thought they were arguing in the car. That's what I thought I had heard was like the guy and the girl, Madison, and I didn't catch his name.
Who knows?
But they're arguing. That's what I thought. What it is the podcast that they're listening to. And the guy's like, because you know how Matthew Lillard just walked in the background of the party scene in Scream 2?
Yeah.
So because this is like a stab podcast, it was like, there are unconfirmed sightings of Stu Macher at a Windsor College party in 1998 or whatever. So like that was what it was like the whole podcast was about like Stu being at that party. So I loved that I hadn't caught that, but that they took the like casually throwing Matthew Lillard in the background for fun and turned that into the whole Stu's alive mythology.
Yeah. But also to like wrap it in this conspiracy theories, like fans going overboard with their theories of what's happening in these movies.
Yes.
And setting themselves up for disappointment, sort of.
Yes.
rapper, right? Yeah.
Okay. And so then we get into like Madison and God, I wish I remembered the boyfriend's name, but they get into the house or whatever and they get the call to like play the game. And he knows like the first 2 questions right away. And then the third question is, how old was Jason when he drowned? And he like
Right.
does all the math. And then she's like, trick question, Jason never drowned. And so like I looked that up and I'm like, because like he does drown in the first one, but then I guess technically he's back. So did he not drown? Whatever. So I'm reading all the mythology about how essentially like fans like use this lore to make the timeline make sense, to make each
Totally.
movie canon with one another. And I was like thinking about it and I'm like, okay, so what's the significance of that in a Scream movie about is Stu Macher alive or not? So are they playing with the idea of what we think is canon isn't going to be canon so that we actually still can leave the door open to bring Stu back?
No way.
I think it was very intentional.
I think that's intentional too. But are you saying that they're making it vague so like
I
in
think
8 they could bring him back?
they're dropping Easter eggs about timelines that don't actually logistically make sense in horror franchises and being like, we can kind of do the same thing because we can bring Stu back later.
I agree, but I think that's to counter the argument that's going to be Stu.
You think so?
I think it's to say like, look, these are just movies. These are just slasher movies. Like people think Stu is in the second one. He's not. You know what I mean? Like, but we can't stop fans from theorizing and doing the headcanon shit and again running amok with their theories. Like we've seen it in a million movies where people just go crazy. And honestly, I think every single ending to any series now that comes out is just like destroyed online about how being awful because like everyone's theories went fucking crazy.
Yeah.
They gotta have this happen. This is gonna happen. They're teasing this. The whole fucking Stranger Things Secret 9 episode situation that was happening where everyone convinced themselves that like they made a bad fantasy ending because they're actually still stuck in the upside down and they're gonna have a drop a secret 9. Like people went nuts.
Do you do that? I've never done that. I've never watched something and not been like I hate open-ended endings where it's like we don't know what actually happened. Like fucking the Christopher Nolan Leo one. What is that one? Inception. Hate that ending because I don't know what happened, right? But endings where we've definitely seen what happened, I've never been like, here's a theory, here's a thought. Like I just don't do that. I'm like, oh, what we saw is what happened.
Lost. I mean, being old as I am, like watching Lost when it aired, like me and my buddy Matt would go to the computer lab between classes in college and just like look at Lostpedia, which was like where everyone was putting their theories in about like, did you see there's a Dharma stamp on the shark? Like, what does that mean? And like and like you would catch all the shit. There's like a smoke thing that's hitting the plane and like went crazy. And it was so much fun to do that. I mean, obviously there was a show where like they were being mysterious every episode. They were like giving you a cliffhanger because they wanted you to do that. I just want to say, I'm confused now, having seen Friday the 13th a million times. He did drown and he is dead because why would he still be in the water?
I told you he was Soggy Frankenstein.
He is.
Yeah.
No, you said something like...
no, I called him straight up Soggy Frankenstein.
It was so funny. Yeah, is that what it was? It was so
Soggy
funny.
Frankenstein.
I laughed when I was editing that thing.
Thank you. I'm glad somebody gets my laughs.
Anyway, so that's the Scream news. Like, again, as usual, I'm going to keep my expectations super low. We'll see what happens. This is super early in this announcement. But as we like started as a Scream podcast, I think it's important that we had brought up that news.
Do you know what I think is funny that I'm like realizing about our personalities doing this together? You come in with like low expectations. I go in with super high expectations. We tend to typically meet in the middle.
Totally. Which I think is what's going to happen today when we talk about The Babysitter Killer Queen.
Okay.
Directed by Mick G. Again, same guy. This time, different writer. There's 4 of them.
It took 4 people to write this movie?
That's how movies are made nowadays, right? But like, I've never heard of these guys, but Dan Lagana, Brad Morris, Jimmy Warden, and Mick G also has a writing credit on this. The cast is basically the exact same as last time, though we have Jenna Ortega now. And I didn't bother to write everyone's fucking names down. A couple other characters. The Metacritic score for this, which I looked up after I watched the movie because I have to, I don't want anything influencing my opinions on movies when I watch them. 22. Super low.
22 out of 100?
Yes. Metacritic score.
Okay.
User reviews a little bit higher. I think it was like 60 something, but 22 is an insane low number for this movie, I think. Let's just go with our initial reactions and thoughts. You've seen this movie before. I have not seen this movie before.
Yeah.
Has your opinion changed since watching it on Wednesday or Tuesday, whenever you watch this?
Yeah. What's funny is I was so excited for you to see the first one, knowing you hadn't and remembering that I loved it. And then going back off of being on such a high from Ready or Not, Here I Come, and then being like, oh, wasn't as good as I remembered it. It was fun, but it wasn't really good. And I knew that this one was not as good as the first. And I was like, okay, like I felt like I struggled for things to say in the last episode. So I was like, I'm just going to dive in and like do some extra reading, articles, whatever, like see what people are saying. And like just started reading about like people just like tearing this movie apart and being like, there's no value without Samara Weaving.
Are you talking about critics or are you talking about fans or like whatever?
I mean, people didn't really care enough about this movie for critics to write about it, so I mostly got fan reviews.
Yeah.
There was one in particular that I found very interesting where a man was writing about his experience in prison and comparing this movie to his experience in prison a lot, which was a hilarious article, very insightful. I highly recommend reading it. But anyways, I was extra preparing for it. And so I like going being like, man, I was going and being like, oh yeah, this movie was a piece of shit. I barely remember it. And then because I had such low expectations going in, I was like, oh, actually there's still some really fun things about it. Like I actually don't hate this movie.
Yeah. I think similar. I felt like we had to do this. And the first one was fun enough where I'm like, sure, I'll watch another version of this or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I like this movie.
Yeah.
I like it. I think this movie is way better than it needs to be. I think it's better than the first movie.
So,
yeah.
One of the things that I read when I was doing all my online research, somebody wrote, this movie works really well if you basically view it as a live action cartoon with blood.
Sure. Yeah. I think general first impressions, this movie, while it has a lot of faults and it's not a serious movie or whatever, I think surpasses the first one, is actually funny. I was actually laughing watching this movie. And my criticisms for the first one were like, it feels like a student film. It's shot kind of like, everything looks cheap. It's shot weird. Like I can tell they're all acting like they're hitting these like, you know, archetypes and plot points we've seen a million times, but they're hitting them in such a way where it's like, I've seen the skeleton of this, but I'm not being immersed at all.
Yeah.
This movie felt like a real movie. Like this movie felt like I could have saw this in a theater even.
One thing that I think this does to expand upon the first, something you've pointed out twice now, in our Scream 7 episode and our Terrifier episode, which has not been released, is when we get stuck reusing set pieces. And this one felt like that lake setting, I'm sure there was actually like a lot of reused set pieces, but it didn't feel like it.
I agree. And I think they spent so much time before they got to the lake where like, once we got to like the set, I was like, it's okay. This doesn't feel now so self-contained.
Where it was
even
super
though they're just in the woods or
like,
whatever.
Yeah. Like the lack of set pieces now stand out to me where I'm like, oh, they didn't have money.
Yeah. For this movie, you mean?
No, the first one now. Like
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was pleasantly surprised. First of all, this isn't like a 10 out of 10 or anything, but if the first movie was a 6, I think this is like a 7. Like I would watch this again. Like this for all of it. Like, and then I read the Metacritics and I was reading the user reviews. I'm like, do they just not know how? Because this movie, if they're only commenting on this movie by itself and they never saw the first one, they're not comparing it to the first one. I could see like maybe, okay, this is stupid. Mm-hmm. But I think it's stronger than the first movie, even though Samara Weaving is not even in this movie.
Yeah. Well, and honestly, when she's in the movie, I don't feel like it's additive.
No, I could have been fine with her not being in the movie.
Yeah.
I agree.
But my biggest qualm with that is that it's literally called, she's B. It's called Killer Queen, Queen B.
Yeah.
And she's not even in the fucking movie.
Yeah, it is weird. Look, I have plenty of criticisms we can talk about too. So I'm not praising this movie, but
Okay.
I had a great time watching this.
So let's talk about the opening shot. I don't know if you remember
Okay, yeah.
what it was.
Oh, wait, I do remember. Yeah.
But we're both very aware that I think adults drinking a glass of milk is just about the grossest
Oh
fucking
my God,
thing in
I
the
wrote
world.
that first note is milk.
So
I'm just so upset he didn't drink it. Did he drink it?
no, he like fell down
Yeah.
and moved away, and I was like, that's how you should react to a glass
Yeah,
of
for
milk.
everyone who
It
doesn't know,
need
like Maddie cannot stand watching just adults, which
kids are fine.
does he count on but he's in between, I guess. I don't know.
It's like once you're over 4, you should not be drinking milk in front of
She
me.
gets disgusted by it.
like
she'll throw
sick
up.
to my stomach, puke. So then
Yeah.
I literally, my note was, let's see. Where's my note on this?
That's so funny.
Just when I thought a glass of milk couldn't get any worse, they turned it into a fucking period.
Yeah. Yeah. At least he didn't drink it.
And then it's the opening scene of the fucking movie. I was like,
I laughed I was like, no wonder you didn't like this movie as much as the first one. First shot is milk. I thought you were talking about the scene in the therapy room, which is also
Okay.
the nurse's room.
I actually thought that was hilarious. I thought the nurse
I did too.
was so fucking
Look, I am
funny.
laughing during this movie, which like I said in the last one, I was cringing mostly because it was like, this is like TikTokers made this movie.
Which is funny because all the criticisms of this one were like, it felt like 4 people trying to figure out how millennials talk or whatever. But like, I did not like,
Millennials made this movie. What are you talking about? Do people not know how old millennials are?
I just felt like this one actually, the references hit better.
Yes.
The jokes, the dialogue.
jokes were great.
I mean, the Melanie's boyfriend, his dialogue was horrible, but him aside,
He was a bad actor. I laughed out loud when that one kid asked Jenna Ortega if she's going to the lake later.
she's like, I can't wait
Says,
to
like,
finger you.
Yeah, I can't wait to finger you. It keeps walking. There are some good lines in this. And I want to say, one of your big things about the last movie was like, you're upset about how underutilized the parents were. I got to say, they were hilarious in this movie.
I agree.
This felt like watching like a real comedy almost.
It did.
Look, granted, I don't think it's the greatest comedy of all time, but like it was way better than the first movie. Like their dialogue when they're ringing the doorbell of the neighbor girl's dad, and she's like, well, how'd you know it didn't work or whatever? It's like, oh, I came over here the other day. It's like, why?
Oh
what?
God, when he's
Why'd
like,
you
yeah,
come over?
smoke some weed, play some video
Yeah.
games. She's like, is that when you tried to stick it in my ass?
You could tell they're riffing. But it worked. Like they let them be them, I think,
Yeah.
in this one. And I want to say on a more serious note, like I think their concerns as parents in this one was more believable than the first one, where they were like, oh, my kid doesn't, he's too nervous to drive a car.
Yeah.
This one, like they're actually nervous that he is making up and believes that like a death cult tried to kill him.
Do you think that the trope of nobody believing the victim works in this one?
Yeah, I think at first I was annoyed, but I think more so than I felt like all the character development we got in the first movie with the kid like becoming more confident, like completely disappeared. Now he just seemed like he was back to being an insecure kid again.
Yeah.
That bothered me, but I think it makes sense that you wouldn't believe him.
Yeah.
Why would you believe that? Like, where are the dead bodies? You know?
Do you think, this is a note I had. I said, is Cole a reliable narrator? Are we watching an over-exaggerated experience from his point of view?
What do you mean? I missed the first thing that you said.
Is Cole a reliable narrator?
Narrator.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he is.
I feel like that's
Oh.
something that it's like we talk about in books all the time. Like every time you read a book, like the first lit theory question you get is this a reliable narrator?
Right.
And
yeah.
we never talk about that in movies, and we just assume that whoever's point of view we're seeing the story from, it's accurate. But clearly with all the like word explosion bullshit happening, like pocket knife, but whatever it was in this one or whatever.
Which I also had a problem with in this one, by the way.
Yeah, there's some scenes I want
But
to
we'll
talk
get
about
to the
that,
negatives. I got lots of negatives too.
But is this an overplayed fantasy in Cole's head? Not necessarily a fantasy, but just an over-exaggerated situation in his head.
No, I think in the context of the movie, it was really happening. I don't think this movie is trying to do that, but I do think that clearly this is written to be like a young male fantasy from these, like, you know, they have in the first one when you have like this beautiful girl who's like falling in love with this nerd and she likes movies and she's fucking like got trauma that somehow makes her more desirable to like, do you know what I mean? Like, which is fucked up. But it has all those things. Like, I mean, Jenna Ortega is playing a version of like the manic pixie girlfriend or whatever it's called in this movie. Same like Samara Weaving was acting like right in the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's just like this girl that's like every guy's fantasy and he doesn't have to work hard to like have her love him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love Jenna Ortega in this movie. As much as I'm just criticizing the whole manic pixie girlfriend. Like she's great. She's hilarious.
Hate the
She's funny.
hairdos though, man. With all the buns on the top,
Yeah.
that's not my thing.
You don't like the hairdo?
No, I don't.
So you don't like Jenna Ortega in this movie?
No, I love Jenna
hair?
Ortega in this movie. I love
Okay,
Jenna Ortega and everything. She's
Yeah.
hilarious. My favorite Jenna Ortega moment, though, it was by far when she's on Hot Ones and he's like, "What do you think of the New York Times article that said you should put peas in guacamole?" And she responded, "Obviously, that's fucking wrong."
That's funny. Let's talk about the big twist in this movie.
That his little girlfriend is now wanting to be a big bad. Melanie wants to be a villain.
Yeah. What do you think
she wants to be
this?
an influencer. I hated it.
You don't like this?
I think it worked.
Wait, what don't you like about it, I guess?
Okay, so the way that she actually played it, all of that worked out fine. The story, the pieces fell together, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I just felt like she wasn't a necessary character in the first one. And then I felt like it was such a drastic departure from that character in the first one that we didn't even need. Like, it just wasn't, there wasn't a character arc that went from 1 to 2 that made sense for me.
You think, she just all of a sudden she is
like, I'm this sweet as pie little thing, and now 2 years later I want to be an influencer. It's hard because they were so much older also. Yeah. But she looks like she's like 8 fucking years old in the first one, and then she's like looks like she's 10 trying to be 20 and wants to be an influencer.
Yeah. See, I like it for a couple of reasons. I like it because one, it totally subverts your expectations. I didn't see this coming at all. There was a moment where I was like, wait, something's up right now. But I think what works about it is like this idea that in high school people change. I mean, there's people suddenly you're not friends with. You know what I mean? Like, I think that when you're 12 years old or whatever, like, oh, I love this person. They're my best friend. And then like 2 years later, they become a piece of shit. I become a piece of shit. You know what I mean? Like,
because people get into high school and all you care about is being cool and being accepted by everyone. So you fucking dump whoever.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, exactly. I think that I totally was like, I like that because they took her character, which I didn't think necessarily worked in the first movie. I get what they were trying to do with that. And instead of just like totally discarding that, they, to me, made it more interesting by now taking that character, making her the bad guy. It just worked for me. I don't know. I was like, fuck, that sucks.
So when you were watching it, it would have been like the comic book script slapped on the screen. Bummer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, I think they did what the fuck or whatever, right?
Is that what they did? Probably. I know they did that at some point.
Yeah. Because like she kills that one person that's like sitting there.
Bam Bam, is that what they called her?
Who had one of the funniest lines?
Boom Boom Bam Bam.
Where she says, he's talking about his autoimmune disease. He's like, I'm autoimmune to you.
Yeah.
So funny. Yeah, I like that actually. I thought that was what made this movie. In fact, I kind of wish that I know they brought every single person back that was a bad guy in the first movie. I kind of wish they only brought a couple back. It seemed like there were too many people in this movie at a certain point where I was like, this is way too much. They got the parents, you got Jenna Ortega, you got the kid, you got everyone from the first movie, and now you have these like 3 or 4 new people. I was like, this is just character overload for me.
I did though. Max is such a douche, but you can't help but like I love him. He's so fucking funny. Like him on the tube being like like pulling himself in or whatever. And like everything he does, he's like such a piece of shit, but he's so fucking funny. Yeah.
When he's like at the end, he's like, dude, I'm not even mad. When they're all dying and because he's not a virgin anymore, he's like, dude, nice. I'm not even upset.
Also, when we did our last episode, you were like, I want to know what everybody wanted. And then you get it. And we get to Max and it's like, Max just wants to kill people.
Yeah. I first of all, that must have been a complaint that they were hearing because they really cleared that up in this one. I think that's almost the reason why they brought everybody
What do you think of the style, though, of how they shot that with it, like the old video camera? Like,
I didn't mind that, honestly. That didn't bother me because it was a flashback. It made sense that it would be at least like some sort of like dreamy, sort of different palette looking. Again, I hated like anytime words would flash up. I hated the fucking video game fight. Sequence.
I was wondering what you were going to think about that.
Oh, so stupid.
What I assume, was it the same then with the dance to Apache?
The dance.
When Tonto jump on it and he's dancing with Jenna Ortega.
Oh,
also with the
it took me forever. I was so confused.
Fucking.
Is that what I was seeing? I don't remember.
They were having sex. So they're dancing.
Well, I know they were having sex, but I don't.
And then there's like the flower opening. And then
he looked so unrecognizable to me.
Out of the rocket launcher or whatever.
Oh, yeah, you're right. He looked so unrecognizable to me. It took me like half that scene for me to realize that was the kid that she's dancing with. I for a second I thought she was in on this. It was her as like also going to be like a killer in this situation.
You thought they were like being like Beetlejuiced?
Yes, I was like, what is happening right now? That didn't honestly at that point I didn't care. The video game sequence, like it was just so. It wasn't like it was a fun or exciting or funny. It was just
when
like, can this scene be over?
I wrote down. This is exactly what I wrote. Need Ben's thoughts on video game fight because when it started, I was like, oh no, this is gonna be dumb. But then I didn't like hate it as I was like watching like them like capture like the different moves. And then it made me think of Striking Cobras. Do you remember that Black Mirror episode?
Oh, yes. Yes, I do.
And then I was like, okay, Ben's either going to love this or he's going to hate it.
I didn't like it. It felt a little bit like Scott Pilgrim.
That's what they would have just done the fight. This whole movie felt like Mick G wanted to make Scott Pilgrim, but didn't have a comic book that he was like following to like tell him how to do it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like someone failing at doing Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah.
Like if they had just had the fight thing come up and then them have just like a struggle, I think that would have been fine. But they really, the whole going into it, having fireballs and like, I was like, can this scene be over? Like, I don't care about this scene. It's not suspenseful. Like, I'm like, who is this for? Like 12-year-old boys.
Yeah.
That's who this is for. But yeah, so I didn't like any of that stuff. I am happy that they told us what everyone wished for. And I got to say, even the OG cast was funnier in this movie. Like Bella Thorne, like stumbling through the window when she's like sneaking.
When she's trying to get in the houseboat.
Yes. Like this movie made me laugh, and which is something that the first movie didn't really do. Like this. One
thing that I hated though, in that when they all start coming into the houseboat and he's escaping, and he goes down the slide and lands on the jet ski.
Yeah.
I hated that he landed on the jet ski. It would have been so much funnier to me if he'd like almost made it and like hit his face on it or something, but like landed in the water and then had to crawl back on.
That would have been hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah. I hated that he actually.
Also, I thought it was clever when they had the trail of gasoline that they lit on fire. See, like, I think I'm so confused. Like, again, this is not like a great movie, but I am confused by how poorly it reviewed because it's better than a lot of movies that I've seen come out this year, even. Like, this is better than it should be. It's fun.
Yeah.
I think it's fun.
I did write.
I think
the rattlesnake in his pants is the only scary part of this movie.
totally true.
Literally. It's not a scary movie. It's a comedy.
Yeah. 100% it's a comedy.
Yeah.
Nothing is scary about this movie.
Except snake in his pants.
I was a little worried about his dad at the end, I will say. I thought they were going to off his dad or
You were
something.
a little worried about his dad?
I was. I didn't want his dad to die.
Ken Marino.
But yeah, this movie is still like super juvenile. So what do you want to talk about? Like,
Okay, one thing that I love about this movie.
yes. Do you like this movie more or less than the first one?
I enjoyed watching it more than I watched the first one. I would say the first round that I watched them, I liked the first one better. Didn't think this one was as good simply because I had the hots for Samara Weaving, and then I was like, where the fuck is she?
This does have less Maddie, like
it had the milk.
This is less of a Maddie movie.
Gross. There weren't girl on girl kisses.
Exactly.
So no boobs.
No boobs. This is the anti-Maddie movie. They took everything that you loved about the first movie and just removed it completely from this. Even Samara Weaving's
And then
gone.
they added milk.
Yeah, exactly. And a rocket blasting off.
Everything I loved, you just poured milk on it. One thing I loved about this movie, fucking killer soundtrack. And I was
I wrote that down too. I agree, 100%.
And I was like, so
way better soundtrack.
Netflix doesn't spend a bunch of money on like production, but they'll pay for fucking White Rabbit, Black Velvet, Killer Queen. Like, how much money was the music budget for this film?
Yeah, really good music, really good soundtrack. I actually wrote down great soundtrack.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even remember what the songs were in the first one.
Yeah, I remember. I Want Candy was in the first one. That's the only one I remember.
Oh, yeah, that was a good choice though for that scene.
I did notice that how you can tell there's different writers because they both try to keep making film references, but the first one it was all Star Trek references, and this one was constantly like Terminator references, and neither of them were relevant to the children these movies are written for.
Well, if you're a film nerd, I see what you're saying. Yeah. What a weird time we live in. I mean, now, like, if you're 15 today, I mean, Terminator came out 40 years ago. Like, that would be like us being obsessed with like the original Ocean's 11 when we were kids. Like, that would never happen.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
But Terminator is more timeless than those movies. Like, I would say.
I would disagree. I think that when we were kids,
those movies still look great. But you could watch that movie and be like, this doesn't look.
But do you know kids who still watch those movies? Like our parents showed us.
I don't know any
Star
kid that
Wars,
watches movies.
And Star Wars lives on. And I don't know.
Yeah,
anybody.
but people don't watch the old like the original trilogy.
What?
I think.
Are you kidding me?
I think if you're a kid today who was 12 when the sequel trilogy came out, I think those are your Star Wars movies.
I don't know, because at Disneyland, they are now bringing back Darth Vader, Leia, Luke Skywalker as characters because like all these people are introducing their kids to the original Star Wars movies.
Maybe. I think that's because they are worried that millennials aren't liking it. And that's a big demographic for This is a whole thing. We'll talk about this some other time, but I think we need to make new IP for the younger people and stop making just IP for millennials, because that's all that's happening. Even this Harry Potter show that's coming out, it's like no kid is watching this anymore.
You don't think so? You don't think Harry Potter will?
I mean, I think it will do well. I think Harry Potter maybe it's a bad
magic
example
for a new generation.
I honestly think that everything that's being made, people are thinking in terms of like what millennials like, what we grew up with, and that's why you're getting like Terminator 6 and fucking
millennials, where film thrived and went to die.
I would love new IP,
Yeah.
I'm ready for new IP. I don't need to see Indiana Jones again. Ever again.
The last
I mean, I'll watch the old ones.
I didn't even see the last one, did you?
I did, yeah.
Was it any good?
Yeah, it's all right.
Eh.
I'll never watch it again, but do you know what I mean? Better than a lot of movies I've seen. I don't know. We should talk about this movie, because I'm just realizing right now this is gonna be the hardest fucking episode I've ever edited in my entire life.
The hardest episode to edit?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Because I think it's already been an hour and 5 minutes, and
well, literally the first 50 minutes of it you can just cut out.
Well, I'll salvage some of that.
This is going to be hard. You're right.
But we still have a lot to talk about, I think, because we haven't really talked about Like, I don't know your, like, what did you think about the old cast coming back? Would you have preferred?
I
that
actually
they
thought they were really
didn't?
funny.
Yeah.
I would agree. Like this had like some serious laugh out loud moments, like when they're like passing the cup of the mixed blood around, and then Bella Thorne, who we made the like gum gingivitis jokes about, then passes it to what's his name, and he like wipes it off, and he's like, I don't know where your mouth has been. I laughed
It's
pretty.
been all over Samara Weaving. I also loved when the one girl was getting run over and she was like, "Turn your high beams off, you asshole," or whatever she said.
I also like when Bella Thorne was just
Bella Thorne was almost the best part about this movie. Almost
she
was
pretty
good
funny in it.
this. Yeah.
And I was laughing because like when she like gets stuck by her neck, I wanted her to
Yeah.
get stuck by her boobs. That would have been funnier for me. But I get
Yeah.
that they like couldn't necessarily rip her in half from the waist, but you also actually couldn't rip her body off her neck just by pulling on her legs. So I was like,
Maybe you could. Maybe.
we should test that theory. Who wants to volunteer?
Mythbusters. Where's Mythbusters when you need them?
Okay.
Asking the hard questions. If your head is stuck between two rocks and you pull really hard on the legs, can you rip someone's head off? Let's talk about the end. What else do you want to? Sorry, this is a weird transition I just made. I just lost my train of thought.
Anyways.
I was thinking about maybe we should cut out.
Well, okay. So as we get to the end,
Yeah.
and
Well,
the dads, the
we've been
dads show up. Dad's still,
Well, I was waiting for fucking Samara Weaving because you said she doesn't show up till halfway through the movie, and I'm like, she hasn't really shown up at all. And I kept looking at the time left. I was like,
well, she does.
is
like
she going to be in the last 5 minutes of this movie?
Yeah, it's frustrating.
That's all it is.
It's frustrating. And a note I wrote was, I think they built off the hype of her, and then they couldn't get her, and I think that's part of why this movie's panned, because people are like, we want Samara Weaving.
This movie
She's
is
not even in this
undeservedly
movie.
panned.
Yeah, I would agree with that because it's really fucking hilarious.
Yeah. I'm very confused by that.
But I think the identity of this film was built around her, and then she's not in it. It's like you're promising something and not delivering. It's like all the Stu fans who are like, wait, you mean Stu actually isn't alive? And now I got the worst fucking ending of a Scream movie I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So you can understand the disappointment of the loyalists. Anyhow, here's something that drove me crazy, because you know that I always have one or two things where I can't suspend my disbelief on.
Yeah, you're not a belief suspender.
Not
belief,
when it's not done
you're
well.
not a disbelief suspend.
I can suspend my disbelief when it's done well. I will still maintain on Scream 4 that I never would have thought that those killers were too small. If I blame Wes Craven, if he had not used that shot of Charlie struggling to hold a knife to Nev's throat, it would have been okay. He didn't make me question Emma Roberts' size, and she's fucking tiny. Knowing her,
yeah, but again, she knocked him over immediately.
I know, but like that's just what Ghostface.
It wasn't like they were pretending like he was stronger than her.
But when he's in the Ghostface costume, they are. That's the thing.
Everyone is in the Ghostface.
But
you think fucking
you can't have
Billy's mom?
two personas.
I don't want to have this discussion again.
All right, fine, whatever. Anyways, this is my disbelief suspension issue with this one. So the dad darts him in the neck.
We should have a whole segment where you do this for every movie.
Where I just get pissed off about something and I'm like, there's no way you can buy this.
Exactly.
So
all right,
the dad darts him in the neck, right? Gives him a little trank.
In the shoulder,
Neck. He shouldered him. He didn't neck him.
He shouldered him.
Whatever. He tranquilized his kid, okay?
Yeah.
This is the problem that I have.
He wakes up immediately.
So they drive far enough that the kid is able to wake up.
Yeah.
But
I agree. I was like, whatever.
Close enough that the dad is able to run back.
Yeah.
After he takes
They didn't go very far. I think the idea is that the noise of the car going off woke him up, and then he like chugged that coffee that was right next to him.
Mm-hmm.
It was stupid. I agree. I was like, this is stupid. Why not use chloroform instead?
Yeah. That would have been funnier too.
It'd be weird to chloroform your kid.
That would be a little creepy, wouldn't it?
Yeah. You'd be like, I'm actually the killer. I'm in the death cult too.
I also did right after that, because then we have our climax, and I wrote, it kind of bums me out. I feel like Samara Weaving phoned it in on this one a little bit. And I do know that she was, the whole reason that she wasn't like the star of this movie is that she had other scheduling conflicts and she was busy filming other things. So like the fact that she made time to come back and like do this, cool, great. But you can tell when an actor's not fully submerged themselves back into that role, just like Matthew Lillard coming back as Stu 30 years later and doesn't have the like, he's not the same character.
I think that's a different thing. I don't think he was like it's been 30 years for him. Where with Samara Weaving, I think maybe she
was just busy and she phoned it in.
She just phoned it in. Yeah, exactly. I don't think Matthew Lillard phoned it in. I think he did. I thought he was good actually, but it felt
like a different
weird because also we had just watched it. And also it wasn't even him.
Yeah.
It's like someone pretending to be him. So anyway.
Touche. But yeah, I was bummed that like she just wasn't
Yeah, it felt weird, that whole scene. I knew it was gonna be her driving that fucking car.
I didn't. That I did not.
Yeah. I mean, I was like, why aren't they showing the driver? Is it like is nobody driving? Like what is happening?
But it is like a weird kind of come together where it's like, I was your babysitter and I was your babysitter and I knew that you guys would have sex and I've been bad, so I have to go to the devil now.
It's all very stupid. Again, I'm not trying to say make this out to be this amazing movie. I just don't think it's as bad as people are saying it is.
No, it's a fun movie.
It's funny, yeah.
My final thought consensus on it is like, when Donnie's 12 years old and wants to watch scary movies with his friends who are over, I'll be like, you can watch these movies. Like, are they violent? Yeah, but not in a way that's going to scare my kid. They're going to think they're watching these cool fucking movies. They're like, oh my God, my mom let me watch The Babysitter. And I would have no problem with him watching them.
They're not going to know what this movie is.
By then
you're going to be like, you're going to watch this movie and you're going to like it.
Donnie, sit down. I'm going to teach you about Samara Weaving.
Oh, you're like, I'm going to show my kid The Babysitter, where I'd be like, I'm showing my kid Jurassic Park. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
oh, he's going to be a Jurassic Park fan. Those are Chloe's favorite movies.
Yeah. Not that new one, though. Goddamn.
I liked the new one.
No, are you insane? Oh, my God. Worst movie I've ever seen.
I liked that it started out as a monster movie.
That movie got pretty good reviews. No, maybe it didn't. I don't know. I don't know how people like that movie. That movie is so bad. I have never heard dialogue so bad in like a big movie like that in a long time. I mean, the dialogue was horrid. Well, watch it again and listen to Scarlett Johansson talk to just speak. It is like not engaging dialogue. It is like overly explaining. It is like, this is not funny. It's not interesting. It is literally just there.
Welcome to the future of movies, where
we're here
writing for morons with
and maybe that's why I like The Babysitter Killer Queen, because the bar is so fucking low. I get really depressed about it. It's like, this is like something that I love.
Yeah,
and I haven't
film is
seen
a dying art form, which is unbelievable.
It is. It's dead.
I mean, there's still
people don't care. People don't give a shit. Everyone's gonna go see the Mario movie.
Still a few good films coming out. I mean,
like what?
One battle after another.
Yeah, one movie. I want to get your thoughts. I guess your final. First of all, I love the final scene. I obviously I knew it was what was gonna happen. Like I knew, like, oh, he's not a virgin anymore, right? Like they're all gonna. Yeah. It's gonna not work.
It was weird how they played it though, because they played it like he wasn't aware that it wasn't gonna work. Instead of it being like his plan, it came off more as like he didn't even think about it.
I don't think it was his plan. And in fact, the whole time I was like, if all they needed was like a syringe of his blood, why didn't he just give it to them and then walk away? Why all of this? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
They didn't have to kill him. Okay, just take some of my blood and I'm gonna go home. Like
because you can't leave a witness. Ben, don't you kill
they're
people?
Going to be immortal. Who cares? Like, make the deal with the devil. Like, I won't be caught. I don't know.
They're not immortal, though. They're just getting what they want. They didn't ask for immortality.
That's true, which is stupid. They should have.
I don't know, man.
I want to be a rapper. Like I'd be like, I want.
Okay, I did hate that one scene where they cut to him in the booth and he's supposed to be funny being bad, but it wasn't funny. It was just
wasn't
like
funny.
really, really like.
He had some funny moments in this one because I didn't think he was very funny in the first movie, but I thought there was and I forget what it is now, but I was laughing. I mean, a lot of the flashback scenes were kind of dumb.
Yeah.
With the exception of Bella Thorne's.
I don't even remember hers. I just remember.
She's like at the news
the
desk.
audition at the news desk.
Yeah. She was great in this.
She was pretty funny in it.
She earned my respect in this. I think giving the right writing, I guess, she could be pretty funny.
Yeah.
This is the only movie I've probably seen that she's in, actually, these two movies, but she was cool.
I did also appreciate that they bookended it with him going back to the nurse.
Yeah.
His whole like, I'm cool now, whatever, it was all delusions persona, like that was whatever, I didn't care. But the nurse is fucking hilarious. But also,
I agree.
The nurse gave another shot in it.
Yeah.
And in our last episode, we were like, has anybody gotten a shot from a high school or a school nurse? I think this is what it was. I'm pretty positive that when I was in elementary school, they had like a doctor's office bring in nurses to do vaccines.
No way.
But it wasn't the school nurse. I like have a very distinct memory of this at Westridge Elementary School in like kindergarten or first grade.
I don't think that's a thing.
Somebody tell us. Does anybody else relate?
Maybe you dreamed it. You dreamt it.
I dreamt getting shots in school. Maybe
in high school.
I don't know.
You have a false memory in there. I don't know. That seems crazy.
I remember when they would do the hearing test and they'd like put the like
I remember
things
that.
on and they'd be like, raise your hand when you hear anything. And I'd like think maybe I heard things. So I'm pretty sure I was just raising my hand way more than any of the beeps
They
were
got a
going
crazy
off.
gauge, like she hears things. How many, like, there's a gauge of how crazy you are.
It's not beeping, but she's hearing something.
You're like, it's not a voice, but I hear something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot I could talk about still. I feel like we've kind of been talking a lot about. I think a lot of the kills were funny. A lot of references worked. The whole deliverance thing was funny, minus the essay stuff. Jenna Ortega was great. He was great. I guess, it's funny. I read about this. They look so much older in this movie because like literally they shot the first one in like 2016.
Yeah, this one was like 4 years later, right?
But on top of they already had shot it. They didn't release it until 2017.
Yeah.
So it was like 2 year delay. So they were like way older.
Right. Which is what drove me nuts about his little girlfriend becoming the villain, only because it was like, she was like 10 and then she was like 16.
Yeah.
And it was like a very like abrupt.
Well, she wasn't then. They were 12 or whatever in the movie.
It was just a very abrupt transition.
Yeah, I thought that was cool. I liked how they did that. But they also made it seem like she was in the cult the whole time or something, which I thought was weird.
What'd she say? I also signed my name in the book. But
like when?
Yeah. And I don't like,
Who
I didn't
cares?
think the whole time, but it was like, so what? So if you saw what was happening this night and you decided you wanted to be in it,
Yeah.
how do you pursue the book? Those of you out there, if I want to sign my name in the
Well,
book.
that fucking post-credit scene. Who knows who's gonna find it next? So
I did not see the post-credit scene.
yeah, it's just the book is in the sand and the wind is blowing it. Like it's
very
ready to be
Jumanji.
picked up. Yeah, and they're going to. I mean, I guess they're already developing another one. So they.
Oh yeah, I just saw that too.
Yeah, McG wants to cap it off or whatever. So
will Samara come back?
I don't know. I think maybe now. I mean, they'd have to pay.
It is funny watching these right after Ready or Not because it's even like on the dock, like that when they exploded for.
Oh, when they exploded, I'm like they stole that from Ready or
devil.
Not. Yeah,
But they came out before Ready or Not.
this movie did.
I don't know. I feel like they came out. I don't know. It's all meshed
If
together.
this movie, I assume that this movie came out after, and they were just like
the
copying
first
it,
one came
basically.
out, and then Ready or Not came out. I don't know.
I don't know exactly either. I don't know when Ready or Not came out. But yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Overall, I think this movie's better than the first one. Minus, I think it does suck that we don't have Samara Weaving the whole time.
Mhm.
I agree with that. But I think as a movie, it's stronger. It's a stronger movie.
I had more fun watching it than I expected.
it's shot better. It's written better. It's funnier. The soundtrack's better. The production is better. Everything about this movie is better than the first one.
Except Samara Weaving.
Except Samara
And
Weaving.
it's a bummer.
I think the
They
first
should
one
have just scrapped her from the movie because what we
Maybe.
got of her in this, like,
Well, it depends. Maybe she's in the whole third one.
Right, but I don't want her phoned in performance. I would rather just she's busy. Don't try to slot her in and get like not her best. Let little Melanie have her spotlight and bring Samara
Yeah.
back for the third one if timing works out.
I do think though it was nice because like we were talking about last episode where we were it was unclear to me whether she actually wanted to kill the kid or not. And this one they clearly are making a decision, which is like, no, she didn't.
Yeah.
She actually, in fact, I thought that was a cool idea. Like she sold her soul to save Jenna Ortega originally, which also doesn't really.
But it doesn't.
Make sense
It also
with the book and stuff.
doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's like
But-
she does so many things that have nothing to do in the first one with.
Like this movie is fine. It's better than the first one, and it's funny, but that's about it. You'll enjoy it if you watch it. I feel if you're a horror fan, you'll enjoy this.
If you're a
I think.
comedy fan, you'll enjoy it.
I think so. Okay. We've been rambling about this movie. I think we've made our points. Like, have we made our points? I don't know. Let us
Well,
know. I think
you did.
Yeah.
You think this is better than the first, and I
mean, yeah.
and I totally get your arguments on why. I don't necessarily think it's better than the first.
Okay.
But I truly don't know if that's because it's not or if it's because the lack of Samara just makes me less interested.
Yeah.
But it's funny. Like it is funny. And,
It is
and
funny.
it's another to piggyback off the first one, it is what it is. Like they made what they
Yeah.
set out to make and they did it.
Yeah.
They did that.
Yeah.
They knew they weren't making an A-list
I think
movie.
if the first one had the jokes landed better and it didn't feel as like forced and cringy, I think it would have been like I think this is the movie they really wanted to make the first time. And I think they just barely missed the mark.
Do you think it could have been a theatrical release? Because
This one?
yeah, I actually
100%,
do.
yeah. I think this one looks like this one is definitely shot better. Like this one looks better. Like it looks like a movie. It doesn't look like I'm looking through someone's like camcorder. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not as contained as the first one.
But it's not as contained, which is both has its pros and cons. I think. I got nothing else. This has been a long one. I'm gonna trim it down probably.
Yes. Sorry, I want.
So that was our review of The Babysitter, Killer Queen. Check it out if you like horror comedies and you have and you're open to juvenile humor. I don't know. You got anything to say?
And that's it, bitch.
That's it, bitch.
Thanks for tuning in.
Perfect. Later.
Peace.